Welcome to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original. I am Josh Henning.
I'm Phil Gerber.
I'm Jeremy Gerber.
Welcome everybody back to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original, presented by Blade HQ. Whether you're into cars, motorcycles, hunting, fishing, grilling, or any number of things, you've got the tools that you swear by. Have you ever noticed that the tool that finds its way into every job is a knife? Do you have the knife that you swear by?
Right.
If not, it's time you got yourself one. And Blade HQ is the place to get it. They've got the knives to fit any hand, any belt, any job, and any budget. Just go to bladehq.com/oil and whiskey to shop their selection of knives.
They need to update that to fit any pocket.
Or kill like half a Sunday. If you've got nothing going on Sunday,
You want to waste some time?
well, no, I mean, it's effective time.
Oh, yeah.
You're usefully applying your time. But jump on Blade HQ.
Spend some money.
Yeah, you can. It's a rabbit hole, but it's a good rabbit hole.
We need to get one of their guys on to get more of the in-depth detailed reviews.
I know, we're trying to set that up.
I'd like to. I mean,
They're busy guys.
have you dove into like the all the cooking knives? Like Benchmade's got a whole line of
Yeah, I'm the one who
Grilling,
let you guys know about that. I've got them.
on there.
Not on there. I was on Benchmade's site.
Oh yeah, so no, you didn't let us know then. Yeah, that would be not letting us know, right?
You haven't been to Blade HQ and looked at their...
Right.
I haven't looked at their
Right.
culinary knives there,
Okay.
no.
So not applicable to this conversation.
You're glad he got a win. In case you missed it, be sure to check out our interview with Courtney Hansen, which dropped on Monday. Coming up next, we've got a new In the Glove Box, Whiskey Throttle, and more. But first, it's time for On the Gas. On the gas. on the gas.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
These are the things that just come to us. I mean, no
Dude,
rehearsal
They
whatsoever.
shouldn't.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe it was like spending all that time talking to Courtney and just thinking of that like celebrity status and
Yeah.
being on TV. It's just I can feel like inspired.
Yeah, it would.
Like, did you see the way it rolled
you
up?
brought it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did too. You came hard with it.
Have either of you guys gone back and watched any
No,
of these
I don't.
episodes
I
and like
do
looked at
not.
yourself and you're like, yeah.
Once we leave this door, I have no idea what happens.
I'd recommend watching.
How about some reviews? Let's get some reviews. Email them to Phil at Roadster Shop.
Let everybody know what you think about the jingles.
The jingles.
These aren't just These aren't like recorded jingles that we paid somebody that doesn't
Obviously
even know
not.
the brand. These are on brand jingles. We are vested in this.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Because
But
of
they
how we
suck.
do them.
Yeah.
I mean, think of this. You remember the song?
It's the same jingle for everything. It's
No.
this. Yeah.
No, there's
Think
There's
about-
different words.
Think about the song Informer by Snow. There's like 4 words.
that you can understand.
Yeah. It's just,
Informer.
and that was it.
Shake it, boom, boom, down.
Yeah. That was a huge hit.
Yeah.
It's one of these is going to blow
Yeah.
up.
Perseverance.
That's
What have
right.
we learned?
Yeah.
Perseverance.
Believe in yourself. Keep trying. Don't give up.
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it.
I
Don't
think
let Phil tell you you
I
can't
think
do
all that's going to your head, honestly.
it. On the gas. In this segment, we want to take some time to shout out an individual vendor, shop, or company that's got their foot on the gas, doing great work and taking their projects and industry to the next level. But
What are
let's
you
face it.
doing?
Oh, what's going on?
I was pulling up Instagram.
Whoa.
Christ.
Whoa.
Make sure we get the name right.
I'll never be able to do that cut again. And we, honestly, if you've been listening this long enough, I hope you've been listening to the other episodes. You're not going to come into episode 32 and be like, oh, let's check this out. Start from the beginning. Everybody knows what On the Gas is now. That's people that are
Kicking ass.
kicking ass on the gas. So who do we have this week? Phil?
This week, we are going to go with the guy who has probably the coolest name in the history of names.
Not probably. He has the coolest name. It's set in stone.
So he's a bike builder out of Texas named Colt Wrangler.
That's a fucking name
Mhm.
right there.
That's a man's name right
Is that
there.
his like given name, his birth name?
Yes, and his brother had a slightly, I don't want to say better, but on par name. I forgot what it was.
I did too. I was hoping you remembered.
No, he told us when he was out here.
It's a bad. This is
That's a fucking name.
I think
right
his
there,
parents were
man.
hippies, and they were just like, "Let's give these kids some badass names."
Cowboys.
Maybe Cowboys.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Colt Wrangler's a badass.
He is a
name.
legit cowboy bronco rider out of Texas. Built some really badass bikes. Kind of in my style of like the flat tracker street kind of genre, if
Right.
you will. But badass metal work, doing some really cool shit. He stopped by our shop here on the way to the hand built show that's in Milwaukee.
Chicago.
Chicago. Yep. Month ago. But check him out on Instagram, coltwrangler.co. Building some really badass stuff and just got a cool style that's
Super humble guy.
Yep.
Just cares about the craft, cares about building badass shit.
Yeah. Cool fucking dude. He was hanging around here. I was tied up that day, and I remember I kept seeing this dude like wearing overalls and this like trucker hat. And you like catch him out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what's up with this? This dude looks pretty cool. Like, what's
Yeah.
this guy's story? And then Phil comes to get me, and he's like, you gotta see this dude. Came here. He's on his way to this bike show. He's got this bitchin' bike in the back of his van, and lo and behold, there it was. Cool.
Did we get
shit.
our orders in before we did this?
before he blows up.
Yeah, before he blows up and we can't afford it. Yeah.
But-
He's also got a podcast, right?
He does. Yep. Started a new podcast.
Check that out.
Colt Wrangler Radio on Instagram.
Check him out. Badass name, badass bikes.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Super cool dude. I like his I like where the guy's at. He's young guy. You could tell he's super driven, very open-minded. He was asking tons of questions. He's aspiring to be really fucking good. He's already super badass.
Yeah.
So somebody to keep an eye on. He's gonna do some big things, I think.
Give him a follow. Check out his stuff.
Colt Wrangler. I just like saying it. Colt Wrangler. Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue,
It
doesn't
does. Sounds badass. Makes me sound badass saying it. That's how badass the name is. I sound badass saying it. Yeah. Colt Wrangler. All right.
Keep it going.
One more time.
Next up, time for the glove box. This In the Glove Box segment is brought to you by Stillhouse Spirits. Stillhouse has 6 different spirits in their portfolio: original whiskey, black bourbon, apple crisp whiskey, classic vodka, peach tea whiskey, and spiced cherry whiskey. Stillhouse products are made in the USA, and the cans they come in are 100% stainless steel, so they chill quickly. They also stack and nest nice.
And they look
They
cool.
do.
They do.
They're
really fucking
they're a
cool.
conversation piece. I've got 4 of them sitting on my bar. Had some company over the weekend, and out of all the bottles, that was the conversation piece.
They have 2 new flavors that we just stumbled across this weekend that they didn't let us know, but saw them in the store.
Yeah, we don't have those yet. Mint chip and
It was like a mango or pineapple, wasn't it?
not.
No, definitely wasn't.
Yeah,
But
there
it was something cool.
It was a different one.
Well, they should have let us know.
Yeah, they
and sent
should have. The
bottle so we
mint
could try
chocolate
it.
chip sure was, but what? Yeah, I'm trying to think what the hell the other one was.
It was the other flavor.
Okay, the other new one.
Yeah, the
Well,
other new flavor.
Stillhouse is going to let us know.
But
I've had some fun. I've been honing in on my cocktail boys.
we don't even need to talk about it.
Okay.
It's been way too fucking long. You've just bowing out. You're not doing it,
Yeah.
right?
No, I've just been busy. Honestly, I've been talking shit for a while, saying I'm doing this. I haven't done anything with it. Yesterday I got home at a reasonable hour, grabbed some ingredients, started whipping some stuff up. Tried 3 different cocktails. Number 3, it's difficult because I know as I'm pouring it and tasting it, I'm listening to you 2 fuckers in my head,
It's
Just-
motivation right
just
there.
shitting all over it. So I think it's the fear of failure a little bit. That
If I spit it out like across
Yeah,
this table all over your
I'm-
face,
how wide's this table?
I don't
Like
know,
4 feet.
4 feet.
So not too wide for me to come across it and slap the shit out of you.
But find Stillhouse Whiskey at a store near you by going to stillhouse.com and using the store locator. That's STILLHOUSE.com. All right, guys. In the glove box, what do we have this week? Who wants to go
Dun,
first?
dun, dun. All you? You're up, Kip.
Oh, man, I think I've got the knife that needs no introduction.
Congratulations on being the 4th person in the shop to
Yes.
pick this up.
And finally, a part of the team. I'm so excited to own this. Phil brought it to the table. And I think Phil sat in the number 1 spot for a long time. Didn't he? Did Phil?
Josh brought it to the discussion.
And Phil brought it to the table.
Phil physically brought it.
Okay.
He actually brought it to
Gotcha.
the table.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a phenomenal knife. It's out of all the OTFs, Phil, what's the model? On the
Shootout.
The Shootout. That's right. Benchmade Shootout.
Go ahead and place it right here.
Bam, right in the middle there. You don't see a lot of the OTFs with the Tonto blade on it. And relatively reasonable price point for an OTF, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's like half the price of a lot of the other Benchmade stuff.
Yeah, they went into this. They wanted to get
It's
a
like-
lot more people
You
into
know what?
OTFs.
I'd like to say this is like a spec chassis.
It is.
You know, it really is. It does everything that you need it to do.
Benchmade name, Benchmade quality.
Right. But
Out
it
the
doesn't
front.
have all the fancy schmancy stuff. It's a plastic handle on it, but it does. I mean, that's probably the best carry. The action's fucking awesome on it. Good looking. Yeah, just dig it. Good knife. Good carry.
Have you worked any skills with it yet?
No kills on it as of yet. It's still pretty fresh. Stabbed the shit out of some boxes in Phil's office over the past
Bet he
couple days.
did.
But yeah, I'm just getting used to it. You know, I got to get a hang of my strikes.
Did you put the noises with it?
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
They're
Yeah.
nowhere near as good as your noises.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
What else you got?
uh,
Standard.
standard stuff.
Fat
Keys.
dad wallet.
Dad
Nothing
wallet.
crazy.
20 clip. Yeah. Nothing crazy today.
What do you got,
Dun,
Phil?
dun, dun. I brought a whole collection of my Civivi knives in.
Are these the same
Like,
Civivi?
yeah,
knives
this
you
is
keep
like
showing?
show and tell.
No,
These are new ones.
that's a new one. Throw that out there. So that is the rubbed bronze scale Tonto blade Elementum. Started with that guy, the natural G10. Really, really like the knife. Needs to be worked in a little bit. It's still kind of fresh. Haven't carried it that much. It's a little stiff. So I was going back and forth between the wood handle and the rubbed bronze handle. And at the price point, I just kind of pulled the trigger on both of them.
Said, fuck it, I'll get all three
Yeah.
of them. Right?
I couldn't decide, so I got all three. No, I got two. Blade HQ sent us the first one, the natural G10. Loved the knife. Didn't like the scales on it. Saw both those. Couldn't decide which one. Liked the wood better, but liked the Tonto blade better. So went with both. Kind of struggling with the rubbed bronze. It's super heavy. Anything
Yeah.
with the bronze brass scales, it's like 10
noticed
times the
that.
weight. But really cool look. Probably going to start taking some shit apart and putting some of the wood scales on one of the Tonto blades.
I don't mind the weight. I like a little bit of weight to my knives, but I can see where, I mean, from some of the lightweight shit you carry, that's definitely a.
It's a lot in the pocket.
I'll tell you this. I love the natural
It's got an action though.
G2,
G10.
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 Do you like the natural G10?
I dig it.
I might gift that to you.
I would appreciate it because if I would have gotten this first, I would have found no reason to explore another version of it. It's the right look. It's got the Tonto blade, which rocks.
Civivi's a great knife,
cool.
especially from Blade HQ. You can, like you said, hop on there, get you a couple of them, wear them out, use them.
Yep.
It's not one of those ones
They're
that
like
ooh, shit.
45 to 65 bucks between the three of them. Just awesome value for what they have. Cool looks, a lot of different designs. They had like 30 different handle or a scale
You know what I'm
options.
You know what I'm realizing? I mean to interrupt. Fucking badass knives, but it realistically, and it's not to discredit the knives. It's the Miata the knife world because like-
yeah, that doesn't.
it's like power to weight if you think about it, but
Yeah.
price to like what you get.
Right.
It's basically what you're paying for what you get. It's unbeatable. I mean, it's almost a compliment to the Miata.
I get where
You
you're
see
saying.
where I'm
I don't
going
know
with
if It's the best. I don't know if it's the best use of words.
It's the wrong
But-
analogy.
Maybe
you
maybe it
prefer-
goes to be like spaghetti and meatballs is a better analogy. You think?
I
Big Daddy?
Yeah, I think so.
It's one of the Sandler movies.
we
I
have
always get.
we have a lot of listeners that send us emails, send us direct messages that are car guys. They're like, oh, you know what? I've always wanted to carry a knife. I'm starting to carry these knives. I'm buying stuff from Blade HQ, and I can't think of a better brand than Civivi to get into as far as quality and price. There's cheaper knives out there. I don't know if there's a cheaper knife that is as well built as this. And there's way more expensive knives. Absolutely. I mean, it's just like anything else that you get into, cars, watches, freaking
I'm with you on
wheels,
that.
tires, anything.
Yep.
But I tell you what, the action on that thing is, I could find myself flipping that all day long.
Or the entire time you talk about it.
Yep, just right then.
At least that long.
Yep, at least that long.
If not longer. So yeah, I got that. And then the other thing that I got, actually Jer picked this up from Mom's house.
Yeah, I was over there. What was I doing over there? Checking some mom needed some stuff fixed. Put my eyes on it.
So after we did our interview with Jeremy from Ironclad, he talked about one of the people that he would like to interview.
And a little light bulb went off.
Yes. And I was thinking to myself, I've got the perfect. We present it as a gift. I don't know that it's a gift.
It's not a gift.
It's like a
caretaker.
It's like a Stanley Cup or something.
It's a request. We are requesting him to be the caretaker of this fine piece of art.
Priceless art.
For an undetermined amount of time until we request it back.
Or move it on to its next caretaker.
Correct. Yes. We would request it back for its next caretaker.
So if remove the knives from the pad, please.
Knives are being removed.
I feel like I need white gloves to handle this.
Careful now that the top come off of that.
This could also go under eBay treasures or truck stop treasures. It's treasure.
Not a truck stop.
It's a national.
It's an eBay.
I think national treasure would be a better title for it.
I'm pretty sure that Nicolas Cage did a movie about trying to find this. Are you ready?
Do it.
Holy shit.
This is the Chuck Norris Whiskey Decanter.
Yeah, you heard that right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Rewind it. Listen
Chuck
to
Norris
it
again.
Whiskey Decanter.
Yeah.
It says it right there. World Karate Champion. Right there on the bottom.
Not only is it Chuck Norris doing what is probably one of the most beautiful high kicks on a stacked brick wall that he just so happened to find that
some nice
Chuck
ivy
Norris on it.
You pop the top and you can keep your favorite whiskey in there.
That probably was, I'm guessing that was a Jim Beam canner. Beam, or do you think it's just universal?
Hold on. It's got an inscription on the back. You want me to read that?
Go ahead.
Careful, don't break a foot off.
Chuck Norris is the champion, period. He is always positive, mild-mannered in speech, and a true gentleman in every way. His great charisma and inner quality of his strength has made him an incredible winner in the martial arts. Chuck says, quote, with persistence and determination, any goal can be achieved if one is true to himself and everyone who touches his life, end quote. Now he is an acclaimed superstar in motion pictures and holds whiskey.
Damn.
It's one of the coolest things I currently own.
So, Jeremy, if you're listening, we think that you are worthy to be the caretaker of the Chuck Norris Whiskey Decanter for the foreseeable future.
He was a little concerned when we said we had a gift for him that
It
was a fair reply.
But
but
not to put too much pressure on him. The previous caretaker of this Chuck Norris Whiskey Decanter is the most badass person I know and have ever known. So you've got some big shoes to fill. I know you look a lot like a young Chuck Norris, Jeremy, Carrie, but it's some big shoes to fill.
It should be prominently displayed on the mantle. If there's pictures of your children,
Just
family,
swipe them to the ground.
Just roundhouse kick them to the fucking ground
and throw Chuck Norris.
Because if you don't, he will.
Yeah. So
could be a good hood ornament on his F-250 diesel too.
I don't know what type of crime they've got in Virginia. You're not just going to lay that out on the hood.
You don't think they can take care of itself?
Good point.
Yeah.
Well, headed your way, Jeremy, in the near future.
Chuck Norris Whiskey Decanter.
Now we will wait for a response. If you deem yourself not worthy, please be honest and let us know. Because this is not for the faint of heart. You can't just say, "Oh, that's cool.
Thanks, guys.
Throw Chuck Norris up on the shelf." No, this is a responsibility.
It is. The detail is just impeccable on this. I mean, you can count the chest hairs.
You can that happy trail going right. Tell you what.
Wow.
Phil, always bringing the heat.
Careful.
How are you going to package that
I have
for shipping?
no idea.
I think it's just all you can do is put that in the passenger seat, strap
Drive
it
it
in, and drive it to Virginia Beach.
West Virginia mountain.
This week I got my standard stuff. Still rocking the Ridge wallet. Still love it. But we have a new addition, a brand new, as in today. Blade HQ and Benchmade just dropped the Benchmade Readout.
If there was ever a knife that had your name on it,
That says Josh on it.
yeah.
He's a green guy.
You know I like the OD green. Second only to the FD. Little larger knife than I thought it was going to be. When they announced that they were going to do the shootout, they also announced that they were going to do this. They did the shootout first. It's hard to tell in pictures like the size of the knife, but I tell you, I'm quite impressed. Very new. This is just this weekend. I got it.
It's got a good hand feel.
It does
I'll
got a good
say.
hand feel.
It looks, when you take a glance at it, maybe it looks a little awkward because of its soft shape, but it feels great. Great in the hand. Good action.
This is, to your point earlier about the spec chassis, this is Benchmade's kind of direction on some of these knives that have a lot of cool features, a lot of cool colorways, great blade styles, that is lowering the barrier of entry for new knife customers that want that Benchmade quality and they want something cool that everybody's going to talk about. And they're doing a lot of that with their new drops this year.
A lot of bang for the buck.
Yeah, I know Blade HQ just dropped that it was announced. They're probably already sold out. I didn't check it before we got on. But the Benchmade Readout, it's a great knife. I think it's at $180. I mean, it's not obviously super cheap, but it's not super expensive, and you're going to get something that's got quality. They got a warranty, and they're going to sharpen the blades for you. I mean, you can't beat. That's going to be one that you're going to have for a while.
So I actually got that question from a customer. Want to know what we use to sharpen our blades with because we use them so much, and I was a bit dumbfounded. I've sent one or two back to Benchmade and Microtech to have them sharpened, but I think that's something we need to bring up on a future episode.
Of sharpening?
Yep. What
Or
tools you use? I've got a lot of
I'd like to just find the person that wants to sharpen them because it's not really
We have
something I'm super interested in doing
I've got
personally.
4 different stones for
Yeah.
some like kitchen knives and sit there, and it's an afternoon project.
we have a work sharp device at
You
at the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I use that for some knives. If it's Benchmade or Microtech, I'll be honest with you, I send them back.
You're not good enough to handle it?
They offer the service and they're professionals at it, so I send them back. There's a lot of other knives that's a more utilitarian that I'll put an edge on it, and it's good, but it's the factory. I mean, like us, I mean, we can talk you through a lot of different stuff on setting a chassis up and setting things up. And we've got customers that'll bring stuff in. We can spend a half a day going over with you on stuff with the vehicle here. It's just a different experience when you're able to have the supplier, the factory, the people that made it do it. But there's also there's so many things out there for sharpening knives.
We have to play with a few of them and see what's good.
Yeah. All right. Next up, it's time for Whiskey Throttle. You guys ready?
I'm ready for this.
I don't know if you are. I look in your eyes right now and I see that it's just kind of like, I'm here.
No, I'm actually excited because I didn't have any submissions. I had one, but I caught.
So these are surprises.
I stepped in and I caught a couple of some bangers that you guys were looking at.
But
so
you know what?
I'm
What's
looking
even
forward to it.
funnier? What's funnier?
What's that?
It's not time for Whiskey Throttle because we still got to do what we're drinking.
Oh,
That's
okay.
cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
So
A
I
little
fucked that
teaser,
up.
huh?
So what are we drinking?
Bourbon.
We are drinking whiskey.
Bourbon whiskey.
Drinking whiskey.
Yep.
Bill, you have things.
Just
Yeah, you have
shit
many
spread out
things. You're
everywhere.
s-
You
like-
guys just grabbed it all. Chuck Norris
Yeah.
kind of commands a
You're like
presence.
Yeah, he
you're like
stays right
Philip Savini fingers over there. You know?
Philip Savini
Yeah,
fingers.
it's
That one's gonna stick.
just-
Yeah.
Edward
Yeah.
Scissorhands.
This is actually a
Yeah.
gift.
From Bill at Tom's house.
Yeah, the bird.
All right. Start it.
What are we drinking?
So we Brian actually just ran out to upstate New York to pick up a car for a customer. A pretty insane 1,700 and something mile Fox body Mustang.
Yeah, it's pretty
And-
insane.
There was like a time capsule. It was
So cool.
of all like the big dollar shit we've had here. That was the one I was most scared to like be around and touch and like just even look at.
It's funny how
Or-
that works, isn't it?
What's even crazier is that car's worth a shit ton of money, but the NOS bottle of cool water in the center console
Oh.
was worth way more.
That's Dracar Noir. That's pretty cool water.
Think so?
I think so. What years? It's 80s,
Well-
80, 88.
Was it 87?
Yeah, that's
The
pretty.
year, okay, it's
that's
Dracar,
pretty-
but
that's
the
pretty
year
good
Go
water.
Lost, maybe?
the year the car would have been like being
Popular.
flossed around.
Yes,
would have
cool
been
water.
cool water. Okay.
For sure.
So just so happened, car ended up being like 10 or 15 miles from one of our good customers. We had a lot of shows going on, so we couldn't get up there to pick the car up right away. So he did us a huge favor, went out and looked at the car for one of our other customers, gave us the extremely detailed rundown on a ton of pictures, and then Scott purchased the car. Jim went and picked it up for us and stored it at his house for a couple of weeks until we can get a truck and trailer out there.
A couple of weeks longer than what you told him it was going to be.
Isn't that the way it always goes?
It's,
But thank
These
you.
things happen.
yeah.
So to double down on that, we went to pick it up, brought it back, and then there was a box in there that said for the next podcast. So opened it up, and there was a bottle of Blood Oath, super rare, very hard to get bourbon, limited release. I think this is a 2016.
It is 2016.
Yes, nailed
This
it.
bourbon will never be made again, is what it
Says so
says.
right on the
right
bottle.
there.
That's kind of the thing with Blood Oath.
Yeah.
Get it one shot.
And guess what?
Yeah, it was one shot. So we had Jim and Rusty. Thank you guys very much. And Spec Nova should be getting done pretty quickly.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going on the dyno next week.
thank them and thank them a lot because this was not the only thing in the box that they sent with the Mustang.
Shit. Was there something I didn't see?
We have a little something just for you. Are you ready?
No. I've got an idea what it is.
That is, I can't believe they actually found an identical replica of your SCCA.
Wow.
Race
Is that
car.
a hockey stripe? Is
I
that what you call that?
apologize. I apologize. I know this is a collector's item.
Yeah,
so
don't
that-
bend the
that
edges.
was-
Come on.
That was dog-eared just a little bit. So this
Look at
is for
that.
you.
So that would be from a Miata fan. What do they call them from Generations? Because that's obviously the newest.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's got a K&N air
That's a
filter sticker on
2015.
it.
That's an MX-5. That's when they started going to the MX-5.
So is it like
You've done some research.
Is
It
that
says it right there on the back.
is
when
that
you're
like
holding it up.
We're going back to 2020,
yeah.
Josh. You're
Is that
just
like a
pulling shit
Camaro
over
where there's
us.
like you get
Gen
Gen
1,
1,
Gen
Gen 2, Gen 3?
I'd be honest with you. I don't know fucking shit about Miatas. You're asking the wrong guy. Nor who does? Hey,
Hey, you know who does?
that guy. Hey, we legitimately convinced Courtney that you have a Miata because she would never touch it. 'Cause she
She's
didn't know if it was
Yeah.
a joke or not.
she's really sweet. She just
Just laughed it
Yeah,
off. and
just
kinda,
shrugged it off.
She's racing. Her dad's racing Trans Am with fucking Newman, and then she's being interviewed by somebody that owns a Miata. That's cool. Not.
I got nothing. I'm just.
Hey,
I'm warning. I have no more rebuttals.
we've beaten him
Yeah.
down. It's just gonna.
I'm just
take
gonna go
it.
buy one and accept it. Just
show us. Will you? He's going to show up in a Miata.
Yeah, the parking lot's
Is
pretty
that mission accomplished at that
well, the
point?
parking lot's pretty jam-packed, so that'll help the parking situation.
You can park with all the motorcycles.
Yeah.
It's about the same
It's
size.
sideways. You just like parallel park.
Oh,
it
hey guys, I
within
love
it.
the wind through my hair too. Do you mind if I park with you?
You think you throw the finger out when you
I'm done.
Is there a Miata wave? I think it's probably just
It's not the two fingers
Yeah.
down. It's the
yeah.
hey. Oh, I didn't think this episode was gonna be that funny. It's been pretty good.
I can't even.
Every time we think that it can't bring brought up again,
Sometimes it's like sometimes it feels forced, and
it just
sometimes
works
it's just
its
so
way.
good.
All right. I know everybody's going to be upset. The Miata talk is over, but next up,
So
We didn't
finish
review the
bourbon.
whiskey, Josh.
I apologize.
We blew right
Give
over that.
give that a read there on the whole. There's a
Yeah,
lot
get
of
through
stuff
it.
going on
Yeah,
that.
Bloodos
small.
got a good. Their marketing is top notch. Stuff comes in a killer
Box is awesome.
lasered box. Looks
A
cool.
masterful union of well-bred bourbons. All right.
It's in cursive.
It's
You
a
can't
lot.
read it.
It's a lot to read.
Talk into the microphone.
I can't see.
Get your readers on. Are the bottoms of those readers?
The bifocals.
Yeah.
One, a spirited bourbon with a decidedly
The.
You want me to
y-
fucking
young-
read that for you?
Young mash. Try and read it.
The bottom? What?
No.
Here-
front
oh,
side.
yeah, jeez. A masterful union of well-bred bourbons. One, a spirited bourbon with a decidedly rye mash bill, unmistakingly oaky and strong. Two, a disarmingly smooth wheated bourbon, too often to soften the edges, yet intensify the flavor. And three, a port barrel finished rye for a velvety sweet goodbye. An arranged marriage of the rich, rare, and unexpected for you to have. Hold and hide. This rare whiskey shall never again be made. Act 2, date 2/11/2016. I can see that's virtually impossible to read.
It's difficult.
Check. Their marketing's phenomenal, but if
Yeah.
there's one thing you should do, look at your demographic. They're generally
They're
Not to-
drinking bourbon. They're
Yeah.
not.
Not
they
to
don't
be-
have phenomenal 20/20 vision like my youthful eyes do.
Not to
they're-
derail this any more than we already have, but this is a compliment. You probably won't find it that way. But
That's a great way to start the insult.
I'm
If-
sure it is.
you reading that, we could section this out and sell it as ASMR. Like
Which is what?
Josh is trying to sound young here.
No, it's like people listen to like people like fingernails on stuff, and you want to put headphones on.
It's like like one of those YouTube things.
You're aroused by the noise, but that's
So
people
do you
listening.
find my voice to be
I'm telling you what,
arousing?
you reading that softly and subtly.
it's arousing?
Tell you
What
what,
you're saying?
I think we
I think
do.
we could. No, it didn't arouse me, but I think we could make money off of other people
you
being
think it would-
aroused by it.
Okay, I could take like just a little bit maybe of a compliment out of that.
That's
Thank you,
hey, this is honesty.
thank you, Josh. Thank you for that.
I can see how somebody would listen to your voice and be aroused.
Wow. Let's that's great.
This
Let's
is
move past that into the whiskey
insanely
review.
awkward.
Yeah, this is getting weird. Yeah, so good whiskey.
I would say kill the vibe here, but
Yeah.
it depends who's listening.
The first thing I asked on that, because I've got one at home, was what's the proof? Because a lot of times that blood oath, I think
You never know.
I think I'm speaking the truth here. The ones I've had in the past have been super high proof, pretty hot. It's what, 98, something like that.
Yeah, 98.6.
98.6 proof. It's actually pretty good stuff. Hits you to me, the first taste is super cinnamony. You get a ton of cinnamon, and then it's got a lip burn. Is what I've found, not a mouth burn.
There's no chest burn at all.
It's good. It's good. It's a great bottle to have on the shelf.
It drinks a little thicker. If that makes any sense. It's got a
little oily
syrupper feel. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. Absolutely good. But good is not a review.
Buy it's a fucking review.
If you can find it, I would definitely get it.
But what's the numbers?
Bring it out, Josh. Let's see what we
got.
got.
Your sheet? I'm gonna go first. Rip the Band-Aid off. I quite liked it. Initial, like you said, a lot of cinnamon. I thought it had a lot of good flavor. A little bit of a burn, but after the first one, I think I warmed up to it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna go 7.25.
It's a good review. It's a good review because I was at 7.2, so we're right there. That was the number that came to mind. So we're neck and neck. That's a solid review.
I'm going to give it a 7. It's just right there at a 7.
Good stuff. That puts it kind of...
That is
in the upper end of our bourbon reviews.
That is the Blood Oath very limited release. 2016 part number 2.
Packed number 2.
Yeah, 98.6 proof. Find it if you can. If you see it,
you seldom do you see that.
Find that.
Yeah, the ones I have both been gifted, and I've never personally seen it on the shelf. This makes number 3. It's gifted. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll start asking you to store cars longer than expected. More often. All right, now it's time for Whiskey Throttle. All right, it's time for one of our favorite segments, Whiskey Throttle. Now, if you're listening to the audio version, we recommend checking out the show on our YouTube channel so you can get a closer look at these videos and understand why we're just having pauses of silence and then laugh. It makes no sense in the audio, honestly.
No, very little.
If you're listening to us laugh, you might want to check out Jeremy's new segment of reading whiskey bottles. This segment is called Whiskey Throttle, and we talk about some of the funny shit we've seen online.
Is that like a late night HBO special?
I think Vonda Sykes introduces you. USA's up all night.
If you have a funny video that you want us to check out, upload it to Instagram and include the hashtag Oil and Whiskey Podcast. DM us or email us, and we might review yours on the show.
Impress us and send us something that isn't circulating social media.
Right. We had a couple of
I think
submissions.
that's a disclaimer on all the Jackass videos. Like, do not send us your videos.
Do not send those to Jackass. Send them directly to us. They probably get billions of them, we just want.
All right. So first up.
Oh, look at that. It worked.
We have how bourbon enthusiasts stare at their whiskey collection after they reorganize all their shelves.
There's a lot of truth to that.
What was that dude's name?
Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect, yeah.
Mr. Perfect. First of all,
Hennig.
I don't like that name.
Yeah, most people don't. I've heard it before. You're telling me you've never organized your shelves
100%.
Step back and look.
He's usually followed by my wife. What the fuck are you doing?
All right. Next up.
It's shaking here. Coming in at the tail end.
All right, we're coming at the tail end. Yeah. So start over right.
Yeah. Check out a motor scooter. Not gonna end well.
You wouldn't think that little moped could get that type of speed, but the problem is, look at all the people that are watching at the bar waiting for that.
That's like Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch. Son of a bitch just pile drive that wall from almost nowhere.
All right. Oh, all right. Next up. This is a little longer, but I think it's fucking
It's a little
hilarious.
long. It's a deep pull.
Jerry has the same pants.
And chapstick.
And chapstick. The best.
Sage and Willow.
Sage and Willow.
Sage and Willow, I think, was the all-star for sure. And next up, we have compilation. These are all. You ready?
Get it?
Oh. Whiskey Throttle.
And
What?
he's gone.
That's
He's
a
dead.
full backflip off the
He's
back.
dead. He's dead. For
That
sure.
two-stroke, when it hits the pipe,
that one came
you gotta
from
hold on.
Faces of Death, didn't it?
Oh.
Oh.
Anytime there's a chick on a small two-stroke dirt bike,
They have
not gonna
they have
end
a
well.
way of falling.
Their legs instantly go to the wayside.
There goes.
There's the legs again.
Ooh. And there's always a house or a fence involved that they drive into or through. And there we go.
That thing was struggling.
Hang on.
And
Boom. That just looked wrong.
Tell you what, nothing I love seeing more than little fat kids wreck on a dirt bike. It's just because they're not hurt, like because they got all that padding and stuff.
Not generally like right in the front of their face, though.
Yeah, not a lot of padding there.
Where that kid just took it to the grill.
Oh, and what we got next? I don't even know what this one is.
Power band
Yeah.
punches back.
Does that two-stroke get you?
Oh, vintage two-stroker.
Oh, Suzuki. Wow.
Let's watch that.
I don't think a 70s bike can get that kind of yank.
Oh, those things. Those Zukis are fucking torque monsters, buddy. What do we got next? Oh,
This looks like
I don't know.
This was filmed in your hometown.
this
Huh?
is
Just pay attention to the distance on this one.
this is Phil's submission. This is something that's awesome. And
Whoa!
You went like
Damn.
30 feet off that thing.
Fucking Superman, that thing.
I'm telling Ironclad right now, let the music play because this video has nothing without that music.
little mud on the tires.
Yeah. Watch him. And gone.
Boom.
Damn.
Ejection seat.
That was a launch.
Whiskey Riff.
There's a few more in here from Whiskey Riff.
Are there? Ooh.
Oh, this is the Glamis little gap there, huh?
This
On
is
the-
Anyone who's been to Glamis knows of the canal, and there's been like only a handful of people that have like made the jump. There's been a few come up short.
Oh, really?
This is a huge like waterway that runs down the side of the dunes, and it's like everybody you look at it, you're like, yeah, I could jump that. I do not have the balls to attempt it. Hit
This
play.
dude yanks it.
Full can. That is distance.
Oh,
Wow.
so he stomped it.
Yeah.
Tune and destroy.
Dude, the cans, that's kind of
I
like,
don't see that anymore.
that's a little old school. Now guys are doing like quadruple backflips into front flip 360s. The can, just
Like
a,
variolins.
yeah,
whatever.
just an old fashioned cans.
This
Impressive.
right here is Isle of Man
Yeah.
borderline balls.
These guys have got some reflexes.
This shit is nuts.
I don't know where they put their balls because the boats are pretty small.
Yeah.
If they're hanging off the back, if they're underwater.
They're probably on quick disconnects. They leave those in the pits because this shit is nasty. Jet boats going through the little course. Would this be Army Armstrong era?
I was just thinking
No,
that.
he only did the swamp buggies, I think.
It's Army Armstrong era, but he wasn't a part of this.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Hard right. Hard right. Boom.
Going forever
Damn.
and ever
Done.
and ever and ever.
And thank you for watching the Nashville Network.
I'm Army Armstrong.
That could be another thing. Along with Teslas, that could be that could be something wrong with our generation.
The
They don't have
loss
the
of
Nashville Network.
Nashville Network.
This dude.
BMX action.
This was a dude.
Yeah, he's
He's no longer with us after this, I'm guessing.
I'm going to tell you right now, pre-warning, this dude got fucked up. All right?
Oh,
Watch it again. And
no,
You
even
gotta
a-
respect that.
he
the
never
amount of-
put the hands
yeah.
out.
not even an attempt to bail. That is a lifeless body, too.
What went wrong there?
Everything.
Yeah. The face into the concrete. I think you're supposed to go tires on concrete.
I appreciate that. This
Another
dude,
Dune and Destroy.
yeah, this dude is
Yeah, square body tow
Square
truck.
body tow truck.
On
If
a
you're
razor.
pulling something out,
He's
you probably
towing it.
want to.
he's towing out a rental. He's like, fuck it.
Oh,
He's from this is the last motherfucking group that wrecks my rental fucking razor.
While towing something out of a hole, I'm going to try to hit a jump.
Hmm.
Pull the front wheels. Bah.
He's just pissed.
he'd have had that if that
Yeah.
thing didn't need a little wider track width on that razor.
He's ready to get out of there. He said, screw this shit.
Oh, we got a qualified captain.
I think Whiskey Throttle has kind of almost become more of a boat thing than a dirt bike thing.
I tell you what,
Think
there's
so.
some, after doing this and trying to curate some of these videos, there's some dumb ass boat
Yeah.
owners.
The dirt bike thing I can get because you're hanging on for dear life and you don't
It
realize you got to
happens.
roll it back forward.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the boat, it's just down, back.
I'm not boaters like you guys, admittedly so. The amount of people that find themselves leaning right there where the throttle's at to do all various sorts of things, whether it be lifting a cooler, unloading a cooler, tying things down, they always find their body right there where the throttle is.
I
It
think
is-
you know what I think the problem is. We've talked about this on the podcast a bunch. It's perseverance. Like you need sometimes.
An
You,
interesting tie
Well,
back here.
sometimes,
wait till this around.
sometimes you need to just be ready to just fail and just give up, and that's the best thing you can do. But you don't need to persevere. Just put the fucking thing in neutral and just
So
let it slowly bounce off
to
something.
tie off of that,
You don't
most
always.
of these guys are in these big boats because they've persevered in
Yeah.
business.
so
and
they're
gotten
like,
these boats.
no matter what, I'm getting through
Yeah.
this. I
No hard time.
Yeah, I'm not giving
can get
up.
through it.
I've got this. No, just give up. Put it
When
neutral.
it comes to the boat, just give
yeah,
up.
shut it off if you want. Just go sit in the back. Go in the cabin. Just let it.
Hire a captain.
Yeah.
I don't know if this sound has video, but let's see.
We're on a lift, huh?
Yep.
Motor's already turned. We're
Backing up a little bit.
right into the sailboat.
Dunk, dunk. No better way
Into
than
the
if you're
piling.
backing up. You know what you should do?
Oh,
Boom.
get it.
Hammer down.
Yep. Go ahead and climb that mountain.
When in doubt, throttle out.
Huh. Nice. Yeah.
He's still going.
See, that's.
Maybe that's one
again,
of those games where you got to get to the top of the flagpole.
that's what I'm talking about. If you would have just put it in neutral, maybe you'd have just tapped that piling. But now you've just KO'd your whole boat and the dock.
This
Probably
is,
what this guy's going to do too.
This is something. I saw
That-
this
that-
one before Phil sent this.
Is that
It's,
a Bennington?
it's probably it's a Bennington
But
tri-tune.
so that's what you're looking for. Huh?
I'm looking for one of those boats right there. Yeah, but
That's not a boat. That's a pontoon.
I'm guessing this one can be bought cheap after this.
this another.
So what's this guy doing?
he
in the back?
found
Trying to
himself-
dock.
He's
Oh,
by the throttle.
He's leaning into the
He's
throttle.
leaning into it.
Yes.
Wah.
That shows you the torque those Benningtons have.
It's a stump puller, dude. That happens. I've seen a variety of videos of the pontoons. A lot of people leaning over the helm and just catching the throttle right to the gut.
Yeah, they lean right there where they're not
Yeah.
supposed to be.
That's impressive.
Tell you what, there's a product there to be
Throttle
developed.
stop.
Yeah.
Intelligence. If we could sell that,
Well,
we can
buddy,
can that
QB,
and sell
yeah.
it.
But if you could sell intelligence, and I like the caption on this. This is dudes getting ready for a wedding versus ladies getting ready for a wedding. I know you've got some stories about weddings. That this is probably along the lines of what we would be doing.
Oh,
There's the commitment, great. He just gets caught on the ledge.
That is just a complete lack of athleticism
Well,
right
that's
there.
what it says somewhere here on like something about his athleticism. That's Whiskey Thrift has got some good shit. Check them out. And we're ending it with this right
And
here.
he wrote it in John Deere Green too.
yeah,
Didn't he?
buddy.
If anybody doesn't get this reference, honestly, we don't need to be friends.
Yeah.
This is a very probably limited demographic that would understand that picture there. But when I saw it, I said,
But he
Yeah.
wrote it in John Deere Green.
he sure did.
That's not vandalism. That's art.
Yeah.
And letters 3 foot tall, you think? How tall you think those letters are?
Hero will be. Yeah. That's just a good way to go out on the old Whiskey Throttle. If
Oh, I thought something was going to happen, but it's
nothing
just,
happened.
it's
No,
just-
this
yeah.
dude just
Still.
this dude just spray painted Billy Bob loves Charlene on the side.
It's always things like that that makes me wonder where you're at in your life.
Well, I was going to
Yeah.
ask you, where does what? First
What
of all,
happens today when you wake up? You're like,
I'm
you
gonna
know
go
what I'm
do
going to
that."
do today?
No, stop for a second. I'm going to ask you a question. First off, what time of the day?
Yeah, 1:30. Because
AM?
that dude's not
Or
waking
afternoon?
No, afternoon. That guy's
Yeah.
not waking up before noon. If you're going to do something like that, my guess,
Laid
That's
off.
after
Laid
drinking.
off by who?
Amtrak. I think he, an engineer for Amtrak.
Well,
Deep pull.
it was a decent little Whiskey Throttle.
It
There's
was.
some good
We
ones.
had a lot of actual whiskey throttles within that.
We did. If you got some stuff you want us to check out on the podcast,
Send it.
You know,
Send it to
you know
us.
what we got to check out?
what's
Is
that?
this like a new segment or just something we're going to dive into? We have submissions on the bourbon side from
Forgot all about it.
you did. I could see you were going to blow right
Yep,
over it.
right
but
here. It's
We have RS employee
this is employee
bourbon submissions.
whiskey submissions.
And these have been stacking up.
I'm
Yeah.
scared to death on one of them.
One is,
One of them.
it could, well, the other one's, yeah, I don't know. This will, if,
These are employees that have said, "Hey, guess what? I've got something for you to try on the podcast. Drink it."
everybody can
Right.
watch this because we'll try to, at
Well,
least
first of all, before we drink it, we're going to say who gave it to us. So if we end up dead, they'll know exactly who it was.
gotcha. So it's either going to like speak volumes for how good of employers we are, or you're going to have to prosecute the people the names that we put out for these are the people that submitted these.
Yeah, a very special segment, probably never to be seen again, but we'll see. Employee whiskey submissions. Would you like to go first?
Sure. Yeah, we'll start it. I got one tucked away here. So this is an interesting one. That is balcones or what do you think? Balcones. It's
I'm gonna be
got
honest
it's
with you.
well,
I always try to fancy everything up. I'm gonna say
it's got a
Balcones.
Texas thing going on. So, it's close to the border there. I don't see an accent on it, but I'm gonna call it balcones. Sounds good.
Sounds way cool.
Sounds way better. That is ZZ Top Tres Hombres, Texas whiskey.
Love their music. Know nothing about their
Yeah.
whiskey.
So there's at the top of my bourbon list, it's always been, the Pappy Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. And then I've always been curious about the ZZ Top whiskey.
Well-
Those are the two that are right there.
The sharp dressed man.
If
Yeah.
Tim is listening,
So
I appreciate the submission. As Tim knows, we've gone about this all the time. I love the little old man for Texas, but I've always thought they were way overrated compared to Creedence Clearwater Revival, or
Oh, it's fighting
ZZ
words
Top,
right there,
or
aren't they?
Leonard, or Leonard Skinner. Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? So
ZZ Top.
no,
That's up north.
Balinese. Is that how you? Is it Balinese? The song. That's like they're. It was in Dazed and Confused. Or Deep in the Heart of Texas.
Yeah.
How do you
I don't know how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
Hey,
at any rate, great band.
great little
Hot rodders too.
Oh yeah,
Always rolling around. You've seen them at the Good Guys shows, rolling around with old Paul Atkins.
Billy fucking Gibbons.
Billy Gibbons.
And don't know if did you know this about his hot sauce, Billy Gibbons?
No,
Everywhere he goes in that suit pocket,
Hot
he's got
sauce?
a bottle of hot sauce.
Cholula or
Puts
what?
Hot sauce on everything. I don't know what his brand of choice is. Just
Well,
know that's the thing.
At any rate,
There's some badasses, honestly.
Tim Farrow.
He gave
Old
us this
Tim.
to try.
So
I
we
like
are
how he
going
gave
to
us an
try
open
it.
bottle.
Well, he was so excited about it, he tried it himself first.
One taste, everyone knows the rules.
So this is Balcones or Balcones. They are down in South Texas. Balcones.
South of Texas.
What's the proof on this?
50% alcohol. It says so right there on the front. Whatever proof that is.
You do the math.
It is.
Yep.
There are some good bourbons and whiskeys to come out of Texas.
They've got a
TX.
handful of good ones.
TX is up there. We haven't.
So it's 100 proof. 50% in volume is 100 proof. So everybody can know. Is everybody ready to taste?
Are you ready for us to taste?
I was bringing something to the table.
Cheers, boys.
Hey, cheers to Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Oh, you drank it? You fucking
Are
drank
you,
it?
Are you serious?
I'm just kidding. Now I can pick up this very oily compared to this. But it's got some robust flavor.
Very flavorful.
A lot of that leather kind of taste. I've had a few Texas bourbons that all have that to them.
The
Like
you can get
Garrison
the rye.
Brothers.
You can get the rye.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Tim Farrow, phenomenal mechanic. I mean, I can't say enough good things. How multifaceted he is. He can bend hard. I mean, Tim is a guy can do damn near anything and do it really, really, really well. Absolutely instrumental to the Roadster shop. Love Tim. I don't have a lot of great things to say about Tim's bourbon. Tim's a rum guy. You know, Tim fucking likes rum. I appreciate Tim submitting the ZZ Top bourbon. Probably not my favorite bourbon, but Tim, I sure do appreciate it.
He's a big ZZ Top guy, so that was the reason he got it. I know he's hardcore into the rum. He said he hasn't had any good bourbon besides the glass of Blanton's a couple of years ago, so going out on a limb for more of a collector bottle.
It just tastes. It's a lot like if you could take Big Red and soak it in water. It's very
mouth spicy.
Yes.
No chest burn whatsoever, but it's very mouth
beautiful
spicy.
looking bottle.
I'll tell you this. I've had worse. I've had significantly worse.
Our next submission.
Hey, it's if you're a ZZ Top fan, why not add that to your ZZ Top memorabilia collection? As a whiskey drinker,
Not a huge fan.
shit ton of other things to drink. It's young, honestly. That's the biggest thing. It's just very young. You're very quiet. You're regretting everything that you just said about Tim.
No,
And
I
his
said
whiskey
so many.
selection.
I said so many nice things about Tim. I love Tim. Tim's solid.
You could have just as easily said like, "Oh, it's okay, bourbon," but
Well,
that's
dude,
not.
I don't
what-
want to lie to all
we're
all the listeners
We're honest.
out there.
We're honest.
I
aren't
don't
we?
want to encourage somebody to go and purchase it. Like, you know.
We're
And
honest.
me and Tim have a good rapport. You know what? I'm gonna bring Tim a bottle of bourbon. I feel like Tim just needs to experience, bro. He drinks a lot of rum. The fucking rum guy.
Well, next up, we have we have a second employee submitted bourbon.
This one's
a little
exciting.
This one's a little out there.
I've been
nerve-wracking,
I've been kind of
exciting.
jazzed about this all day.
All right.
He's a fellow Miata enthusiast.
Yeah. So there are
Could have
some
left
out there.
that part out. So we have a very good employee.
Is it making a ticking noise?
Well, everybody can recognize that bottle, of course. If you're, you guys out there in the hood or you're used to the brown bag, right?
So we've got a kick-ass guy on the chassis shop side. He's in the frame rail shop. He says he didn't want a shout out. He specifically asked for not a shout out. So we won't say his name.
He doesn't want to get fired when he shows the picture of what he did to the bottle before
rhymes.
wrapping it up.
It rhymes with Landy Fur. Okay. But he said, hey, love the podcast, been listening. He's got this bottle. He wanted us to try it without us knowing what was in it first, which is a little disturbing from a safety standpoint. It is sealed. We did check it. It has been factory sealed. It's not been messed with. So
We sent it to a forensic company.
we did. So we're going to taste it first.
Well, you got to read this is very
Go ahead
well.
and read.
This is very well thought out, very well put together. Josh handed me this morning, and I thought this was really cool. So,
all you ASM listeners,
as you can see, we have a beautiful bottle here that it wrapped up. So you legitimately don't know what it is. Unusual shaped bottle, and it says what's in the brown bag. And on the front is a label here that says, I got this bottle as a package deal in 2010. This is the only bottle I did not consume for $100. As a mover, we aren't supposed to transport alcohol, so I made an offer to the wife with her husband nowhere in sight during the move. He must have been pissed the day he realized his collection was gone and at a price of $100, which any 2 bottles was worth. He was a lawyer in Chicago, and his taste was not cheap. I got 2 banker's boxes full of partials and full unopened high-end whiskey, including a 25-year Glenlivet, and many others, like a dozen bottles of fine wine. I haven't a clue which specific bottle price mark this falls on, but figured this would be fun even if it's a bad bottle. Could be $30, could be $300. Hope it was good. If not, sorry, but hell, it was free though, right?
So we're going to taste
right.
it, and then he's got an envelope that we're supposed to open after we guess. Well, first we give a review, and then we guess
Why
an
don't you
age and a proof.
Put that new badass
Benchmade to the
Benchmade
test.
knife to the test. Do we have a wax seal on that, or what's going on that?
Looks like, yeah, some plastic and wax.
Twist off.
But that doesn't mean anything back in the
could
day.
just be old. Yep.
No, there's a lot of great twist offs. A lot of the old Fitzes.
I'm going to be honest, that's a little different.
It's light in color. This is kind of exciting.
You guys ready?
Smells old.
It's a Landy
Go.
Fur.
I'm waiting to see if you guys die.
I don't know what it is. I could drink that.
I don't dislike it. I'll say that. It's not bad. It's got a scotchy smell and taste to it. It's got
does.
that peaty kind of taste to
But
it.
it's also mixed with some funk.
It's not bad.
It's like Blanton's consistency and color.
It's
But with that,
It's definitely got that scotch.
it's got
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
scotch.
it's definitely it's very scotchy.
Yeah.
Scotch.
Do we get to rip the wrapper off,
Well-
or we read the envelope first?
It's got to be a. Let's see. First of all, it's got to be a low proof.
Or old and evaporated out?
It's
It's,
Scotch for sure.
All right, hold on. I gotta get this stuff.
I don't know Scotches, so I wouldn't know by the
Well,
short bottle
you don't have
shape.
to-
I wouldn't know.
We got it. We're
It's a-
guessing.
it's a-
we're guessing age and proof is what he
It's
asked
a
us
low
to.
proof Scotch from the 80s.
I'm guessing it's a.
I'm saying late
saying
80, 87.
94
87, 89.
94 proof. Jeremy's saying 80.
No, that's
It's
the
a
year.
year.
I
That's
know.
the year.
87 to 89 year.
And it's a low proof. It's 90-ish. Scotch for sure.
Phil, what do you got?
I have no idea.
I could be completely
Yeah.
wrong. It's definitely not Jack Daniels. I'd know if it was Jack Daniels.
Yep.
The blind taste test is tough.
94 proof and 87, 89 that's a good year of range.
Genre.
I'll say early 90s.
Do they usually put the bottle date on there, or just a?
If there's a tax
Year
stamp on
statement.
there, there's gonna be a bottle date, and
There
you have
wouldn't
no idea the brand.
there wouldn't be a tax stamp in that era.
In the 80s, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I have no idea, so I'm just not even going to attempt to pick.
I think he's afraid to fail. You
You
I don't even know where to go.
gotta
Hey,
put.
but
So say it's Bacardi.
you open this while I'm opening the bottle. If it is a scotch, like
it's 100% got to be Scotch.
I know, but
You're going to cut the shit out of your fingers.
I am too. Sometimes you don't need a knife. All right, this is a lot going on here. Oh yeah. All right, so we
Ah.
have a aged 12 years. How do you pronounce it? Is it Chivas?
Chivas Regal.
Regal
oh,
blended Scotch whiskey, and
that's an expensive bottle.
many small liquor stores sites with end up canceling your order due to high demand, unavailability, and inaccurate inventory. But I'm curious what the era is.
Normally, I hate Scotch with a passion,
It's not.
but that was
It's
like
not bad.
that was smooth and drinkable.
It's a 12-year.
Yeah.
The Chivas Regal, now they've got the ceramic decanter bottles, the big blue ones that you see. And that's a $200 bottle of the new shit. I'm trying to find
A lot of times on the bottom of the
Born
box.
on date.
the
Yeah.
glass.
Oh, see, it is old.
Yep.
That's hold it straight up.
Just get all that in the bottle. You don't want to lose that flavor.
No date on there.
We need a professional to date code this.
We're gonna have to put that in something now that the lid won't twist on.
There's no websites on it. That's pre
Pre-2000.
2000s.
Let's Google it.
It says old right there.
Yeah. Sometimes they say by the QC code you can tell something.
Yeah. The Pappies have like a weird number on the side.
Yeah, most of the.
It's like
Anything
you gotta
older
decode it like a VIN number.
generally has a date code of sorts on the bottom, but that's like 70s and earlier stuff.
Let me get a look at
Yeah, I
it.
don't know. It is drinkable. Not a huge Scotch guy, but I do like it.
I do too.
Distilled
There's-
and bottled in Scotland under British government supervision.
That bottle style right now is from the mid 70s on one listing that I'm finding. From that label style.
What's the proof on it?
80 proof.
Lower than we thought.
blind taste test. That's not too bad for
No, for a Scotch,
For
and
throwing it out there,
we're
though.
not Scotch guys. I could drink that on a night that I hadn't started with whiskey or anything like that. I could drink that.
That's
I've
pretty
poured
cool.
out several high dollar scotches that I just couldn't stand. But yeah, that was a good smooth one.
Yeah. I need more friends that are into Scotch, to come over. I just opened a Scotch Oban 14 year.
Oh, Oban.
Oban.
I had probably the worst recommendation from Chris Gray, our Scottish designer.
Yeah.
We were downtown at a restaurant and they didn't have any bourbon. So I texted Chris, said, all they have is Scotch. Do you have any recommendations? And I forgot what his recommendation was, but he gave me, I shot him a picture of what was on the menu. And he said, I would recommend this one. It is very sought after. It's like $30 for a glass. Took a drink of it and instantly pushed it to the end of the table. I could not stand it. Texted him, I go, is that a fucking joke? It was disgusting. He replied with, people say it has tastes of Band-Aids and evergreen trees. That's what I want to drink. Like I went out for a nice dinner. It's Band-Aids and evergreen trees.
That's a good description, though, because that is the I can't tell you how many high-end scotches I've tried that.
Band-Aids.
It is
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And an old wallet.
Well, I'm sure everybody really enjoyed our whiskey reviews. We had Balcones, ZZ Top, and we had the Chivas Regal 12-year from the early to late 70s. Thanks again for everybody listening to Oil and Whiskey with the Roadshow Shop, an Ironclad original. If you like the show, be sure to leave us a rating and review. If you listen to this show,
maybe don't.
Yeah, we're fine with you just listening. If you're here now after this show, what we got?
That's that bottle. It's 1980s.
1980s?
Yeah. That's a pretty good fucking pull.